everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel English Tutorial. I am Rajni Meena, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Government College, Rawatwata. Today we will discuss about Robert Browning's political views in part 3. Browning, identified as a liberal, supported the emancipation of women and opposed slavery, expressing sympathy for the North in the American Civil War. Later in life, he even championed animal rights in several poems attacking vivisections. He was also a stalwart opponent of anti Semitism, leading to speculation that Browning himself was Jewish. In 1877, he wrote a poem explaining why I am a liberal, in which he declared, "Who then dares hold emancipated thus his fellow shall continue bound, not I." Next, his religious views. Browning was raised in an evangelical, non-conformist household. However, after his reading of Shelley, he is said to have briefly become an atheist. Browning is also said to have made an uncharacteristic admission of faith to Alfred Daumet when he is said to have admired Byron's poetry as a Christian. Poems such as Christmas Eve and Easter Eve seem to confirm this Christian faith, strengthened by his wife. However, many have dismissed the usefulness of these works at discovering Browning's own religious views due to the consistent use of dramatic monologue, which regularly express hypothetical views which cannot be ascribed to the author himself. Next, his spiritualism incident. Browning believed spiritualism to be fraud and proved one of Daniel Douglas Home's most adamant critics. When Browning and his wife Elizabeth attended one of his seances on 23rd July 1855, a split face materialized, which Home claimed was Browning's son, who had died in infancy. Browning seized the materialization and discovered it to be Holmes' bare foot. To make the deception rust, Browning had never lost a son in infancy. After the scenes, Browning wrote an angry letter to the Times in which he said, "The whole display of hands, spirit, utterance, etc., was a cheat and imposture." In 1902, Browning's son Penn wrote, "Home was detected in a vulgar fraud." Elizabeth, however, was convinced that the phenomena she witnessed were genuine, and her discussions about Home with her husband was a constant source of disagreement. Next, Browning's popular recognition. Browning only began to attain popular success when he was in his 50s. In the 1860s, he published Dramatic Personae, which had both a first and second edition. In 1868 and 69, he published the 12-volume The Ring and the Book, which some critics believe to be his greatest work, and which earned the poet popularity for the first time. One of the Browning's biggest success was the children's poem The Pied Piper of Hamelin, published in Dramatic Lyrics in 1842. The poem was not one that Browning deemed consequential. However, it is one of his most famous poems. Browning secured his place as a prominent poet with dramatic monologue, the form he mastered and for which he became known and influential. In dramatic monologue, a character speaks to a listener from his or her subjective point of view. In doing so, the character often reveals insight about him or herself, often more than intended. While Robert Browning's work was disparaged by many of the early 20th century modernist poets and by mid-century critics asserted the importance of his works. In Florence, probably from early in 1853, Browning worked on the poems that eventually comprised his two-volume Man and Woman, for which he is now well known. Although in 1855, when they were published, they made relatively little impact. In 1861, Elizabeth died in Florence. Among those whom he found consoling in that period was the novelist and the poet Isa Blagden, with whom he and his wife had a voluminous correspondence. The following year, Browning returned to London, taking pen with him, who by then was 12-year-old. They made their home in 17 Barwick Crescent, Maida Vale. It was only when he became part of the London literary scene, albeit while paying frequent visits to Italy, that his reputation started to take off. In 1868, after 5 years' work, he completed and published the long blank verse poem The Ring and the Book, based on a convoluted murder case of 1690s Rome. The poem is composed of 12 books, essentially 10 lengthy dramatic monologue narrated by various characters in the story, showing their individual perspective on events, bookended by an introduction and conclusion by Browning himself. Long even by Browning's standards, over 20,000 lines, The Ring and the Book was his most ambitious project and is arguably his greatest work. It has been called a tour de force of dramatic poetry. Published in 4 parts from November 1868 to February 1869, the poem was a success both commercially and critically, and finally brought Browning the renown he had sought for nearly 40 years. The Robert Browning Society was formed in 1881 and his work was recognized as belonging within the British literary canon. Thank you. Next video we will read about more Robert Browning. Thank you.